We will get out to Chris and Zaz in a second, but Nick Wright is joining us now. And as I mentioned, he's playing in a big tournament. I don't know whether it's the biggest of his life, but you can watch it at pokergo.com or on our YouTube channel tonight. I don't know how long is this going to go tonight. I don't know what the stakes are. Nick, fill us in on the specifics of what it is you're doing and what the stakes are for the shipping container.
All right. Hi. Thanks for having me. I'm the guy on the phone in the airport, so I'm going to try to keep my voice down. And I'm not. It kind of looks like I'm in a bathroom. I'm not in a bathroom. Hold on. Let me move around so you guys I can prove that. All right. Good. It's not a tournament. It's a cash game. So the distinction there is, Dan, you can, I guess, make or lose, differing amounts of money. It's not like you pay a tournament. You pay 10 grand to get in, and then one person ends with all the chips. That's not what this is. As far as the stakes, Dano, it seems like they might be a little bigger than I had anticipated, because a lot of the guys who were playing yesterday, the guy who put the game together, Antonio Esfandiari, who old poker fans will remember as the magician during the poker boom, he put the game together. And in what was supposed to be a pretty friendly game with him and some LA businessmen, he lost $345,000 yesterday. And which means today's stakes are probably kicked up. Which, could be good. We'll see. I wired, it's going to be on stream, so I can just tell you guys, I wired $100,000 to the Aria Resort and Casino, and hopefully they wire back more than that. Now, as far as the shipping, how people can watch, they can also watch on my YouTube page. It's free for everyone. People should watch on your YouTube page. The stream will start, I believe, at 6 p.m. Eastern, and will go 6 hours. It'll just continuous play. And am I wearing the same thing in that picture? Close to it. And
you look like you're out of rounders, though. You really do you look like you're out of that jacket is out of you just emerged from a Turkish bath.
So
and
that jacket in the picture, I just realized, is Scotch and Soda velour sweatsuit that I wear. This is an old Nike Tech fit, but I'll wear something different on stream, but it doesn't matter. The point is this, so I'm just going to give the shipping container a free roll of 5% with a maximum win for them of 5K. So if I win 50 grand, the shipping container can chop up 2,500. If I lose, they lose nothing. And if somehow I go, if this thing goes crazy, they're maxed out at 5K to split amongst themselves. I'm glad Roy is there, because the last time I did this, I don't think Roy was there.
So who gets to be a part of this? What's the group?
Who's there?
Well, we've got.
Let me see the room.
You got Roy, Greg Cody, Tony, Mike Ryan, Jeremy are the people who are here.
And Lewis.
What
about Lewis?
And Lewis,
yes. Can't forget about Lewis. Lewis is the only guy I talk to every time. I really need to move, because it really does look like I am in the bathroom.
Yeah, it does.
I got to get behind a door or something. I'm going to do it from here. And so now I will tell you an added element of it, because I think my edge might come in getting under people's skin. There's a guy in this game who they call him Kiki. He also is known as Senior Tilt. He's actually one of the main sponsors. I'm not saying I think this guy's a crook. I wouldn't say that, but I don't like him. And he seems to have endless money. Now, where does this money come from? No way to tell, but he seems to have a lot of it. And so I want to win, but I really want to win by kind of going through him. So that seems like it would be good. The guy who created Burning Man seems like something Mike Ryan would be into. He's playing in the game. I mentioned Antonio. There's this guy named Doc Holiday, Doc something, who's like a neurosurgeon. Guys, that's racist. He's like a neurosurgeon who, but he also wore like a bedazzled hat yesterday. So I don't know how sharp he is. So I don't know. So it'll be good. It'll be fun. And I need to, the need is strong, but I thought this was going to be a game where a good win or a bad loss would be in like the low to mid 5 figures. And yesterday, a lot of people won and lost in the 6 figures. So I might be slightly under-rolled for it, but the good and the bad side of having A+ credit amongst the gambling community is just because I only brought 100 grand doesn't mean I only have access to it. So we'll see. And taking, I work hard. I deserve to take a shot, and I think it's a good spot. No pros in the game except for Antonio, and Antonio is going to be on mega tilt because he lost 350 grand in a 100-200 game yesterday. Any other questions?
Yeah, I've got a ton. You still haven't answered who's involved in the shipping container on this bet. You have to select the people.
I just told you all.
Okay, but so the six of them. There's
those six.
Who's six?
Lewis.
Those six.
There's 4 people here.
Okay.
And then Lewis.
All right, so it's 5 of you. My bad.
Macho Man's not allowed to be in.
Okay, no Zaslow.
He chose to be Macho Man.
No Zaslow, no Chris Cody.
Definitely not
No
Chris.
Greg Cody. No Greg Cody.
Greg's got money. Is he in the
Cody.
shipping container?
I was going to give
Hold on.
my cut to charity.
He was trying to get in there, but I guess
Can
not.
I just tell you something?
Blatant
Greg
lie.
Cody has been suckling at the teat of legacy media for so long. If this guy doesn't have millions in cash literally buried in the backyard of his house,
That's
I'm
true.
disappointed. So he doesn't.
It's true.
Okay.
He doesn't need it. And
Okay.
given the fact, and again, Greg, I hope you're around forever, but I've seen the toenails. That means Chris Cody one day is going to get millions of dollars buried in the back of Greg's house.
Okay.
He's
Yeah, if
fine.
He's lucky.
All right,
it's all in
so-
a coffee
all right,
can.
so
Couple of coffee cans.
Okay, so pokergo.com is where you go. The question we had before we let you out of here, he's going to do this at 6 o'clock tonight. His YouTube channel, our YouTube channel. It's a live, no limit.
Juju's got to be involved. Is Juju not in?
Juju's not in, so we've got to include Juju now. Now it's 7.
No, I'm including Juju. No, there's not 7. I don't
What
know
are you
where
counting?
the 6th is.
What are you doing?
It's the 4 people. It's the 4 people I just saw on screen, plus Lewis, plus Juju.
That's
Right.
6
There's
now.
like a that's
I
6.
get
That's
nothing.
You
fine.
said 7.
Nothing
Just,
for me.
just not Chris Cody.
Not
We're
Yeah,
clear.
not Chris Cody, not
Zilch.
Greg Cody, not Zaslow. Zaslow, nice breasts.
No, that's
and-
Chris Cody.
and
That's
so-
not Zaslow. Who are you talking to? Zaslow or Chris Cody? Chris Cody's the macho
Oh.
man. Like,
Oh, that made me. Then I didn't mean to be mean to Chris like that. I like Chris.
okay, but you took
But
out
I guess I was talking to Chris.
the question
Sorry
I
about
had
that.
before you get out of here. The question I have is, what do you identify as more? A sports media member, where you get your sports identity, prouder of a sports
Yeah.
media member or a gambler?
I have been a gambler longer than I've been a sports media member. My dad, my grandfather on my mom's side until, weeks before he died, went to the racetrack 4 times a week into his 90s. My dad, statute of limitations up on this, he's 75 years old. Before he became a very productive member of society, in the, bowels of Kansas City, helped run illegal craps games. I first learned to gamble when I was 12 years old. My dad hustled me out of $108 in 9-ball and made me pay him $10 a month for 12 months because he was going to charge me 10% interest on it. And he thought that was going to teach me the dangers of gambling. And instead it taught me, Matt, wow, you can make a lot of money gambling if you know what you're doing. And so the answer is both, but one is in my DNA and the other is, what I love and what I do for a living. So probably gambler first, sports media member second is, I guess, what it would be. But I mean, this is not for everyone. But it certainly is for me. And I've never been happier with respect to this great show that in your millions and millions of listeners, my wife is not one of them, because my wife and I she knows I'm a gambler, but we don't really talk so much about amounts. And if she were to be watching and heard the amount that was wired, the Aria Resort and Casino, I think she would call me and be like, "You were joking with them, right?" My answer would be like, "Well, you don't want to lie." But so it is. We'll just see how it goes.
All right. Pokergo.com is nice enough to allow us to do all of this tonight. So enjoy it. Thank you, Nick. The answer is you're a gambler, and the answer is you're a gambler because it's harder to get on top of all gamblers than the suckers in the sports media business who are easy to get past.
Quick question, Nick, before you go.
Yeah.
Mahomes just restructured his deal. He pulled the Tom Brady, saved a bunch of money for Kansas City against the cap. Do they make a run at Tyreek Hill? Do you want Tyreek Hill?
Oh boy. So I'm So I'm on the record at various times over the last, like, 3 years ago. I said I think Tyreek Hill is going to play for the Kansas City Chiefs in 2026. He obviously, in the last 2 years, he already had a tough off the field, rap sheet. It got tougher. He also suffered a catastrophic injury. He also was an all-time first ballot bad teammate to Tua. So for all of those things, I am not certainly as hot on it as I once was, but I'm also not going to lie to the audience. If they sign him, I'm not going to be like, I won't be a fan of the team. Like, maybe that makes me a bad person. My concern on it is that, listen, that every football team's going to have some, potential bad actors. I worry if a team's bad actors or potential bad actors are congregated in one position room, and the Chiefs have a bunch of good guys with no, question marks, and then a bunch of guys with question marks who all seem to be in the wide receiver room. So adding, I don't know if Tyreek Hill is like veteran leader there. But if they get him for $5 million and see, like, I'm not gonna, I just got to be honest. Like, this is, it's pro football, and I'll probably be like, man, maybe they can recreate some magic, and I'll deal with it. But I don't think it's a necessity. I am very interested. I want your guy, Mike, at 9th in the draft, Bain. If he's not, like, he is my number one hope as far as realistically could be available, who I want. I would rather have him than Jeremiah Love, the running back. If Bain's gone, the running back, I think, is fine, but it's just, it's a risky move, obviously. But the Chiefs right now, speaking of gambling or betting, right now on DraftKings, I think the Chiefs are 17-1 to win the Super Bowl. They have the 9th best Super Bowl odds. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. And that is only predicated on the fact that there's questions about Patrick. And I would bet a lot of money that Patrick Mahomes will be dancing at Travis Kelce's wedding and will be starting for the Chiefs week 1. And when that happens, they'll have top 4 Super Bowl odds, as they should.
Oh, but what he also just did, though, Nick, and we'll let you go, but what he just did.
No, I got time. My flight's not boarding. I'll talk to you as long as you want.
What he's doing, though, is he's making sure, with what he's learned in the humbling of the last few years of body and mind, I'll just make a bunch of money in a bunch of other places, and I'll go get a bunch of players because I'll work with the organization to partner with the organization on get me the best offense, please. We all know what it takes to win here. I'll save you some money. I'll do what Brady did in a salary cap sport. You're going to get your quarterback value. You're going to get the most valuable thing there is, a great quarterback who you're getting at value.
Well, listen, he's done this. I don't want to, I'm not trying to go in the face of what you just said, but, I don't think it's about humbling. He's done this repeatedly. The brilliance of the 10-year contract that they gave Patrick, which no one has understood, because it was a great contract for Patrick. Because, again, I'll be quick here, but the way the option year mechanisms worked, they were like, oh, it's not that much guaranteed money, but all of his money for the 2 years down the road locks in 18 months early. So it's rolling guarantees. So it essentially was a $450 million contract with $400 million of it guaranteed. And so every year they do this thing where he's going to have a $75 million cap hit, it becomes a $35 million cap hit. Like, that is just the way his contract works. They can do it easily, but they're still not under the cap. Like, they still have other work to do. But the Chiefs will be fine. They had an awful year but we were also reminded how flawed the rest of the conference is, and how 2 of the teams that were supposed to be next up had such disasters. They fired their coaches. So I'm not worried about that at all. And I want to say one other unrelated thing, which is, Mike Bryan, I stand with you, buddy. I thought your rant was great. And I also think that while I think, more respect for people that, whether they're on our side or the other side, that are open and unabashed about which side they're on, rather than the folks. And this is, I know you're going to think right now, Dan, I'm talking about Stephen A. I'm actually not in this regard. The folks who make fact errors when they're talking about real life stuff and attribute it to, I didn't know. And if you track those fact errors, 100% of them have been an error in the direction of whatever the conservative talking point was. They never once was like, oh man, I got fooled by a liberal meme on this and I spread that misinformation. They always make mistakes in the same direction, which is quite telling. But I thought you put it quite concisely and quite well about the shift in political discourse amongst sports media and what is and isn't allowed. And so I liked that a lot, and I appreciated it, Mike.
He punctuates the societal dismount by sitting back on the toilet, back in the
God
toilet. See you later, Nick. Good luck tonight. Thank you for allowing us to be on this ride with you. He is an exceptional gambler, and I think you're going to see tonight in an entertaining fashion him make some people at that table crazy, because I think he enjoys the human silliness of how do I get under the skin of my gambling friends here. They're not as good as he is at this. It doesn't mean they won't get better cards. It doesn't mean that that they won't beat him, but they aren't as good at the science of studying people as he is.